We're live from the Taft Stadium in Oklahoma City this evening, as it is OKC Energy playing host to Louisville City. It is the third of 4 meetings between these two teams. This match is presented by SSM Health St. Anthony's. Welcome in Chris Whittingham and Devin Kerr here for the commentary of this Central Division matchup. And with that, let's take a look at the table in the Central Division. Louisville top, 6 points clear of Birmingham Legion on a tremendous run of form, which we'll get to in a moment. OKC Energy, though, are level with Indy 11 and FC Tulsa for the final playoff spot. But OKC Energy just losing out on the tiebreakers at the moment. So a key home match for them. And as we get into our Loves player to watch, the key player for OKC Energy to climb the table is Viljan Bijev, already leading the side on goals scored. And Devin, he's our Loves player to watch.
Starting to hit the highest of highs once again in terms of form for Viljan Bijev, replicating what we saw with the Portland Timbers 2 back in 2016. That's where it gets you to goals. Assists starting to pile up as well. This guy is ticking on every cylinder. The question is going to be, can the others around him start to take advantage of his quality play? And they've added to the arsenal at every level as well. Declan Wynn, Donaciano, Batista, Adekoya. What's interesting is 3 out of 4 of those boys, Chris, actually have some experience with Phoenix Rising. Donaciano, the draftee on loan from Nashville SC out of the University of Virginia, all of which can impact this team. Going to see a couple of those boys on the field tonight.
And Declan Wynn, a fully capped international, will start at left wing back tonight for Energy FC. Meanwhile, for Louisville, they are on just a simply tremendous run of form. They beat OKC Energy's rivals, FC Tulsa, last time out. They've won 6 of their last 7.
Can do no wrong. Right, this team has 10 wins in their last 13 games. Just the one blemish, as Louisville fans are going to know, was that loss at FC Tulsa. They'd like to forget about that, and they have. 7 unbeaten, chasing down the likes of Sacramento Republic, of course, El Paso Locomotive and Phoenix Rising in the Western Conference. Louisville City reigning supreme in the East. However, they don't reign supreme overall atop the table in the USL Championship. That currently belongs to the likes of El Paso Locomotive. But with a win today, although they will have played one more game, they could jump back into that #1 coveted spot that Louisville City have been chasing time and time again since 2015. Seems they've done everything but that. Danny Cruz and company are out for gold.
The 4 division leaders at the moment, Tampa, El Paso, Phoenix, and Louisville City on top of the Central Division heading into this one. Louisville has won the first 2 meetings between these two sides earlier on this season. OKC Energy looking to avenge those defeats. OKC Energy and Louisville City is coming up next.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
You deserve something sweet, like Brahms' new fancy sundaes. The sticky bun has the perfect hint of cinnamon, topped with smooth, hot caramel and pecans. There's the undeniably delicious cocoa banana ice cream covered in hot fudge and slices of banana. And who could resist 2 scoops of white chocolate strawberry tart filled with pound cake and more strawberries? Or French chocolate macaroon with marshmallow atop Brahms' freshly baked macaroon cookies. Try one or all 4 at Brahms, because you deserve it.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
about ready for action here from the Taft Stadium. Master referee led by Kalin Radisov will lead the teams out onto the pitch as we can bring you our starting lineups for this one. First, for the visitors, Louisville City. Our lineups are brought to you by First Fidelity Bank. 4 changes from the team that beat FC Tulsa last time out. The headline is Joshua Winder in at defense. He was born in 2005, Devin.
Go figure. 16 years of age, Josh Winder doing the dirty work for Lou City on the back line. There are 4 changes in terms of numbers. 6 when you consider Wes Sharpie slides to the right. Gonzalez back into the midfield. Watch that trio on the inside. A lot of work to do. They have not played together a bunch. OKC Energy FC, we've seen their form up and down. Levy knows that they need to get going and get going now. Basulovic comes onto the front line with Bijev. We talked about how good he's been. Let's see the goal scoring from Jaime Chavez. Done a great job in hold-up play, but now time to start to tickle the nylon. Declan Wynn moves out to wing-back, complemented by Zach Ellis-Hayden on the right flank.
You mentioned Vasiljevic. He goes to the bench with Sei Adekoya. Actually, Vasiljevic comes into the starting lineup with Adekoya going to the bench. About ready for kickoff here from Taft Stadium. It is Energy FC in the off-pink kits. The green accents going from right to left. Louisville in the all whites with the purple accents going from left to right. Let's go and get into our injury report here. And it is brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. And for Energy FC, Ray Sari retired during the season. He will obviously be out, questionable Vasiljevic, but he starts. Charlie Ward still not yet available for selection. For Louisville, Abdou Jam was questionable coming in, but he is actually back into the squad for this one. Suffered a broken fibula and is potentially available to make his return from injury tonight.
Incredible to think that Louisville City, after the quality form that they've been in recently, of course, the totality of it all in 2021, atop the division that is known as the Central. Top heavy for sure. Getting even more players back now. Getting deeper. That's a scary thought for a team that's made at least the Eastern Conference Final every single season since 2015.
And for Energy FC, looking to rebound from a season where they only won 1 match a year ago. And it's really been since the manager change that their form has improved, albeit hit a bit of a speed bump recently with just 1 win in their last 5. Energy FC get us starting, going from right to left, playing host to Louisville City. So gone straight out of play there for a throw-in to OKC Energy, who arrive in off the back of a 2-1 defeat away to Indy 11 last time out, as the volleyed attempted crosses in there from Declan Wynn, but he had strayed offside. It'll be a free kick to Louisville. Lamar Batista scoring in his first start for OKC Energy. Nicky Law and Manuel Arteaga getting the goals. You see OKC Energy suffered defeat away from home at the Carroll Stadium. Meanwhile, for Louisville, beating FC Tulsa last time out, and yet another home match. They will spend the majority of the remainder of the season away from home. This is the first of 10 away matches in their final 14, but at the Lynn Family Stadium, dominant once more, beating Tulsa by 2-1 with Cameron Lancaster getting the brace. He's now on to 11 goals for the season, will lead the Louisville line once more. He tries to be on the other end of this long ball from Parker Siegfried. Nicely won there in the middle by Vasiljevic. As Ellis-Hayden to his right, and he was tackled off of there by Jonathan Gomez, and the referee awarding a free kick in a fairly dangerous area here. Winder involved as well.
Interesting little start between the two here, and how about that quick little step in? Not too bad by Vasiljevic. His ability to come from outside in is where he's at his best. The question is going to be, how much space is he going to have to work with? Great composition defensively by Lou City. Pretty much the entire season so far with that stout back four. Tyler Gibson doing a good job occupying that gray area. How much room is he actually going to have to work with?
And be William Bijev to take the free kick. Ellis-Hayden will dummy it for him as it is whipped into the air. It's a good ball in towards the back post. just bouncing all the way through. Mitchell Osman nearly there on the back post, but it's gone harmlessly out of play for a goal kick. You hear the shouts there from Lee Wiedman, the interim manager of this OKC Energy side.
Chris, I believe that's called encouragement. with the wise words of the manager, what more do you need? Well said, sir. Pretty good ball whipped in. Just got to get someone on the end of it, right?
It was a really good invitation to score from a set piece there. Parker Siegfried, who's enjoying a run in the side. Came in for Chris Hubbard following their away draw to Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Could actually spend part of the season on loan at an MLS club in Kansas City, Sporting KC. Stop! Here's Gomez. He's got 6 assists from left back in this season. And carries on his way across there to do the defending there. Osman just marshals it out of play, using the turf to his advantage. And OKC Energy will have a goal kick as we get into our keys to the game, brought to you by OKC Volkswagen. And Devin, you have a pun in yours.
You know, I figured that I'd finally try and throw something together that was a bit clever. Be gentle on Villian Bijev. What I'm trying to lean towards there, Chris, is you can't go after him for everything. If you're OKC Energy FC, we understand that he's having a great season, but he can't do it all. Louisville City know the scouting report. They know the way that he likes to lean. He fluctuates to the left-hand side, even with his tendency to drop down in a bit more than we've seen in previous seasons. You can't just rely on Villian Bijev. So be gentle, try and work it around the entire front three, get some help out of the wingbacks, and that will be success for Energy FC. The middlemen for Louisville City, I made a remark about it in the lineups, Chris, and the fact that Jorge Gonzalez, Napo Masoso, and Tyler Gibson, that's not a combination of 3 on the interior that we normally see. Gonzalez recently doing very well for himself in the relationship with Cameron Lancaster, but Brian Ombie not on the lineup, McLaughlin in, Gonzalez into the middle. What can those 3 do to help control the tempo for the entire team?
It'll be a free kick as Jaime Chavez left a fair bit in there for Jonathan Gomez.
Go, 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 go!
Shouts for the press here from Lee Wiedman, and that is one of the aspects of the OKC Energy team that Danny Cruz feels changes. When they go from home to away, the pressing becomes a lot more intense. They try and go after their opposition, and they're here at Taft Stadium as Lancaster fouled there.
Step in, open up, Josh, open up!
Lancaster, who's scored close to a goal every 2 games in Louisville. This season it's 11 in 11 starts, 13 appearances overall for the Englishman. Came through at Tottenham Hotspur. He has enjoyed the best years of his club career in Louisville, Kentucky. And now a man down in the center of the park. It's Hiroki Kurimoto. Got into a little bit of a collision there with Wes Sharpie in the center circle.
It's just a delayed reaction by Sharpie. You could hear the shouts by Danny Cruz on the sideline. He wanted Wes Sharpie to invert his run here because that pocket had opened up. But with this step by the outside back to the inside, trying to play off of the ball from Tyler Gibson. Good recognition by Kurimoto to close down the space. He saw it immediately, and that's where they've had some quality success in those transitional moments. It's the quick little step on the inside. You win those 50-50 balls, and then Bijev and Chavez are off to the races going the other direction.
And the referee is just getting a talking to here from the Louisville players. It's going to be a drop ball, and I think the ask here is for OKC Energy to give the ball sportingly back to Louisville. Referee Kalen Radisov have to word here with both Opano and Masoso. And I think in the end they made a fairly convincing argument. Now Masoso pleased that he was pressed there.
Go, Billy, you're good, you're good.
It's a bit odd, but It's longer behind there in towards the runs of both Gonzalez and Lancaster, and claimed there by CJ Cochran, the OKC Energy keeper. One of a few players into this Energy side that have previous with Fresno FC, 3 in the starting lineup alone. We look at Vasiljevic, Chavez, and Cochran. A club that spent a couple years in the USL Championship.
Drop Napo back, Wesley.
Very intense audio experience with the coaches today. Some changes there from Danny Cruz in the direction of Napo Masoso as Gomez come bursting through that left back area. The crosses in towards the back post. Opano
Jogo, good idea.
couldn't get there. Come all the way through for a throw-in. Gomez, at the end of the season, will depart to Real Sociedad in Spain for a reported $100,000. Came through at the academy at FC Dallas and signing a pro contract in Louisville. It's booted up towards Parker Siegfried. And Louisville, to be fair, despite their excellent home record, some questions about how will they perform away from home. It's been a decent start here at the Taft Stadium. Ellis Hayden coming forward from wing back to nearly win it off of Gomez.
I'm so sorry, Lee. I'm so sorry, Lee.
The run there of McLaughlin going in behind, nearly found there by Gonzalez. Wes Sharpie. Big switch, well struck there by Tyler Gibson. Winder and Gomez, 17 and 16 on that left side.
It's our ball. It's our ball.
Certainly is a direction that would be new for the fully independent USL Championship clubs to bring players through at such a young age. Seen a lot of the clubs connected to the MLS sides bring in players that are teenagers, but Gomez and Winder represent something of a different path for the league.
It doesn't
And it's
change.
remarkable how
It doesn't change.
they're
Lamai.
leading to winning here. A Louisville team that's top of this division. As Orson just pump it out of play there with Sharpie under some pressure. Win now.
Chris, for a team that's really been the standard bearer at every level throughout this league for what seems like eons, even though their inception didn't occur till their first game in 2015. That was the next step, right? So you've seen the quality in terms of results every single season. Obviously, a couple of guys over the course of those years have been at the helm. Now enter interim Danny Cruz. The opening of Lynn Family Stadium in 2020, pandemic or not, almost impenetrable. Lynn Family Stadium, although Slugger was quite similar. So where does the next level of success come from? Well, they get their training center, and now an opportunity to take all of those resources, push them together at the youth level, and start making those assets work for you, right? Because it's not just the guys that are stepping on the field on the weekend trying to represent the USL Championship squad. It's representing the community and the club and organization as a whole, whether you're 10 years old or 30 years old. They have a vision here. They understand that there's too much talent within their respective areas to let those players get away from them. So you are seeing more of the guys that maybe would end up at Louisville in terms of the Cardinals in NCAA Division I, starting to make their way through the academy ranks. Winder could be one of them. Of course, Jonathan Gomez, outside of his departure from Texas, you know, he's one of those players that probably in the olden days, and I say olden, decade ago, that route is college. That's no longer the case anymore.
Yep.
And to just provide them another platform, whether it be Energy FC, who's got a quality youth program as well, it's time to start stepping up and really taking advantage of what's in front of you.
And for a player like Jonathan Gomez, shown that not only is he a promising prospect, but a player that can help you win, one of the best fullbacks in the league. We'll discuss later on. He's in the running for Young Player of the Year, for Defender of the Year in this division.
Chris, think about that as well, just to interject on one more thing.
As Winder under some pressure here. Chavez trying to benefit from it, but Winder doing well to nod back to goalkeeper Siegfried.
Starts with the FC Dallas Youth Program, goes to North Texas. You see success there. Now, it doesn't even hit double digits, but you could see that the writing was on the wall, that the talent was there. Now, how do you continue to make sure that the confidence builds, that he continues to develop as a player, but that success follows him as well? Getting one of those right is usually a good thing, but getting all of them right is when you see players start to make it into the national program.
Masoso into Openo towards the back post, and it is just hung on there by C.J. Cochran. Attempting to scramble it over the line there was McLaughlin, but he just couldn't get beyond the Energy defender and goalkeeper Cochran. Tries to go route one down the other end. Bijev trying to take it down, but it's Sean Tosh who will put it in behind. And out for a corner to OKC Energy as another look at the chance there.
The babyface assassin with the baritone voice can't stick it into the back of the net because of the last-ditch defending by Mitch Osmond. That's a great ball played across by Antoine Openo. You got to sell out here. Get out in front of this thing because you know the presence, that trailing run by Osmond is on your weak shoulder. Should be 1-0.
And it'll be a Little Caesars corner here for OKC Energy. That's in towards the near post. Takes a deflection there and is fully cleared away. Gomez is the furthest man forward and has to take it out of play for a throw-in. Switch out towards Bijev, former Sacramento Republic player. Prolific goal scorer here in Oklahoma City. Challenge coming in there on Gonzalez. He carries on the loanee from Portland Timbers, and the advantage was awarded there by referee Kalen Radisav, and it will be a free kick here to Lou City. Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner, and Team Docs for Energy FC for 121 years. SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across Oklahoma City. It'll be Gomez to take the free kick. Five to aim for. Trying to flick it on there was Lancaster. He'll come here to the edge of the D. In behind here towards Sharp. He just tries to volley it across. It's high in the air. Winder tracking it. Now Tosh with work to do just to keep it in play for Louisville. Oh, heavy collision there between Sharpie and Dunwell. Brad Dunwell has emerged with it. Serious confrontation there in the middle as now Bijev on the charge. Cross it in towards Chavez. It's over his head. Just a bit behind him as well. Ellis Hayden doing well to keep it in play ahead of the touchline. Ellis Hayden crossing in, and it did traverse the byline. And out for a goal kick to Louisville. Might have done so on the flight.
This is how quickly they can strike, though, Chris, because of their willingness to sit where they drop Declan Wynn and Zach Ellis Hayden back, but then they spring the other way, and they can do it lethally.
The goal there, the former Colorado Rapids player.
Understand as well that the breakdown is almost a tactical stalemate with the way that Energy FC are set up.
Sharpie with a good ball in behind here towards Hopino, who has to keep it in play. It's in towards the back post. Arriving there with the opportunity was Lancaster, but dealt with on the line there by OKC Energy. Good defending there from Connor Donovan to snuff out the chance for Lancaster. Gibson pulled off it well there by Kurimoto. Foul there was Bijev. Denwell will get it moving quickly here for Arun Vasiljevic. Here's the former New York Red Bulls homegrown player Vasiljevic. First team all Big East player. It's a poor ball to the middle there from Brad Dunwell. Over the head there of Wynn as we have another look at that opportunity for Louisville.
Twice in the last 10 minutes. Could have easily been 1, possibly 2-0 for the visitors. But again, the recovery by Energy FC. Defensively, it's gotten much better. And although they are conceding the chances, the good news is they're tracking back as well. So you'd rather them push the initial surge away. But the fact that they are giving them up, they've still got the composition to get back, bodes well.
Gonzalez saw a window to strike, but had his effort deflected. Tosh doing well to step in and find Winder. Tosh, the USL Championship leader in passes completed. Partly being a regular, partly being in a side that so dominant with the ball, particularly at home. Gonzalez trying to interchange there with Gomez, and it will be a free kick. Ellis Hayden, the culprit.
As he drops, Declan Wynn doing the same thing. I referenced the tactical stalemate just before these two little chances on either end for both these clubs. They're basically dropping into 5 because they pulled Vasiljevic to the inside. And so where do those numbers add up? Well, Sharpie comes high and so does Jogo. That creates 5 on the inside, but more importantly, you're basically one-on-one with your wingbacks against Gomez and Sharpie. Vasiljevic on Gibson, and then the 2 holding midfielders against Gonzalez and Masoso. That's going to come down to a one-on-one situation where someone's just going to have to beat their player. It's as simple as that, Chris, where as you're knocking it side to side, things are going slow. The methodicalness has to then take a next step, right? Where it's, okay, let me beat this guy, pull them out of shape, and then see if you can find a seam to play through.
Openo couldn't keep it in play. Remarkable how quick the surface plays. Much just a simple bounce off the turf. As the ball scattering out of play. Chavez sticking a pec muscle out at the ball to get it back to Vasiljevic. It's the 4th meeting between these two clubs. 3rd in this season. They actually went 6 years without playing. Remarkable when you consider two teams came into the league at around the same time. Louisville now under some pressure here as Bijev could be in. Will cut inside of Sharpie, but doesn't have any further numbers with him. And just allowed Tyler Gibson to come back and win the ball back. Ellis Hayden now. Gomez committed and managed to get enough of the ball. Vasiljevic spryly out there as Chavez has Bijev onto his right, tries the curler and takes a deflection on its way through. Kurimoto with a bit of a miscommunication there as Gonzalez can come forward, and yet still as Osmond eventually sorting out the danger.
Lest we forget, this team was 1 penalty, 11, considering they ran through the entire lineup back in 2017 of taking on Louisville City in that final. Instead of the Swope Park Rangers, take Adrian Zendejas for that one. CJ Cochran, of course, was still at the helm then.
Offside flag up against Jaime Chavez. Yet to score in this season. He's have previous scoring goals 2 seasons ago with Fresno hit for 13. Along with 4 assists. Can't score goals in this league. Hasn't quite found it for OKC Energy as yet. Sharpie. Now Gonzalez. For the moment, Louisville dominating the ball, but OKC Energy have found some crevices on the break. Just need numbers to join their attack. Nice 1-2 there between Gomez and Gonzalez. They've combined well as Gomez will now try the cross into the back post. Openo arriving on the wing. Slowly teasing, getting the cross away. Right there at Declan Wynn as it's dealt with there in the penalty area by OKC Energy. It's come out for a throw to Oklahoma City. Louisville with just under 63% of the ball here. First 23 minutes plus. Louisville winning the first 2 meetings between these two clubs. One a 3-1 and one a 2-1 at the Lynn Family Stadium. How might Louisville season just change ever so slightly? They're on the road a bit more. As it's in behind here, in towards Lancaster, who measures the volley, and it needed to be that intervention there from Connor Donovan. You don't want Lancaster with that kind of room so close to goal. The league's second top scorer.
He wanted to hit this first time, but watch the little skip up off the top of the turf here, right there. On the second bounce, felt like he might have an opportunity, but it gets away from him. That allows that small space to be closed down even further for Energy FC. Step right in front of the 9.
Gomez now with a Little Caesars corner. It's overhit. Tosh will have to play it out the other side. Tries to stomp on it to keep it in play, but left enough for Batista. It's cleared up there by Osman. Mar Batista, told you about him in the warm-up on loan in Phoenix. Beg your pardon, on loan from Colorado Springs. It's fizz forward there into Vasiljevic. But scored in his first start here for OKC Energy as Nate Viedman has turned to the loan system to try and get some new blood in, help improve this team and bring in a bit more depth. It comes for Ellis Hayden. Cross into the near post, but nobody making that run, and straightforward work there for Parker Siegfried.
Especially with the injuries that they've encountered over the past couple of weeks. Charlie Ward is one who comes to mind. His ability to really be the conductor of this entire team, spraying the ball side to side, left to right, any which way you want it to. Coronado, massive loss. He was part of that initial wave of injuries they started to experience going back to the first meeting this season between these two clubs.
Batista. And eventually getting it out of his feet. It's a good ball here from Vasiljevic into Declan Wynn, sending it across. Ellis Hayden with a chance to strike. Tyler Gibson needed to be in the way there as it opened up for the OKC wingback.
It's smartly done to just try and put this back into the mixer and allow someone to run onto it, but it's a mistake by Jonathan Gomez. He's got to attack this ball. You can't get away with plays like that at the next level. It's as simple as that, Chris. You got to step in, attack it. You're not always going to be able to maintain possession, but definitely get it out of the danger area.
Sharpie. Openo letting him run beyond him as it's dealt with there by Batista. Chavez with an aggressive shoulder into Tyler Gibson there, and it will be a free kick here for Louisville. Referee Helen Radisov awarding a set-piece opportunity here for Louisville, which could potentially deliver into the area. It does seem like Gomez will fancy it.
It's another area that He's really gotten better all season long, with Oscar Jimenez still making his way back from injury. Jonathan Gomez has, both literally and figuratively, started to step up that wondrous left foot.
Gomez whipping it in with real pace there. Strong header away from Osman initially, but still work to do. As Sharpie takes it towards the byline, just has to get it away or trickle over the line, and it's not out of play anyway, and out for a goal kick. Danny Cruz barking out instructions you hear on our pit side microphones. I'll tell you that this broadcast is brought to you by Braum, real hand-dipped ice cream, thick milkshakes, old-fashioned, banana splits and sundaes, all made with farm fresh milk. Braum's is proud to be a part of your family's tradition. Braum's Farm Fresh for over 50 years, proud partner of OKC Energy FC.
You have a favorite ice cream, Chris? Like your go-to?
Hard to go wrong with vanilla.
Well played. Well played. You're not wrong. It's ever present, right?
Yeah.
It's just there.
You can't go wrong with vanilla.
No, you can't.
Now Cochran. Now Louisville, the ones that are pressing. I believe on our pit side microphones you hear indication to the fourth official that we are into the 30th minute. I imagine we'll have hydration breaks today, as it was 94 degrees at kickoff. I believe is above the heat index that does merit a hydration break. Is a free kick given there to OKC, and now we do hear the word that there will be a hydration break here at the Taft Stadium. And Devin, so far a stalemate. Louisville have gotten a couple of decent opportunities.
Not too bad for Louisville. Would say that they're definitely running the show right now, right? But when you look at the matchup in general, it's not that surprising. This was never going to be an overwhelming performance by Energy FC in terms of how much possession they were going to have. That's not who they are. There needed to be an identity change in the sense of having confidence and what this team was trying to do from start to finish over 90 minutes. That's not a knock on John Pasquarella. JP did a great job for this team, but there has been an attitude adjustment with the belief that we can compete with some of the best in the entire USL Championship. You saw him go on a good run after the changeover. Felt like really the second half of the 1-1 draw at Indy 11 back on June 2nd was the turning point. And it's funny because you look and they lose the next game, but then they go on the run. They take down 901 FC, they take down Sporting Kansas City too. And what I'm getting at here is within that, they've instilled that, okay, we don't have to have the ball. We don't have to run teams down. We don't have to press the entire game. Lee Veman has an identity for this team. They're bought in, and you're seeing it right now. They're sitting back. Yes, they're giving up chances, but they're also creating their own. They recognize that the balance that you get out of Pat McMahon at right back is not the same with Wes Sharpie. Sharpie's just better with the ball at his feet. He wants to be more involved in the buildup. And so as you attack with both outside backs, you leave yourself vulnerable to counterattacks. Energy FC sees it, they're springing into it, and Danny Cruz is all over it on the sideline, asking time and time again for those guys to get back, help out in transitional defending.
Now, following the team talks from both coaches, the players will return now and get cracking here with the final 15 minutes of play, plus the stoppage time to be awarded for the hydration break. A warm early evening here in Oklahoma City. 5 p.m. local time kickoff. You can see the sun beating down on the layers of sweat already formed on the players. Declan Wynn, native of New Zealand. That wing-back position on loan from Phoenix's MLS experience with Colorado, as it will be a free kick here. It'll be Vasiljevic, who has to just take it a few steps back. Now Bijev trotting over to potentially whip a cross in not just the goals for him. He's got 3 assists, and when you looked at the expected stats, also does a lot of expected assists as well. He's need some responses from his teammates in the middle. Jev ripping the cross and comes all the way through. Osman trying to get to it. Batista as well. Batista making a half-hearted shout there, as it's cleaned by Parker Siegfried. Here is that delivery in from Bijev. Chavez tried to get to it. Actually might have just come off of Sharpie in the end. Bounce kindly there for Siegfried.
I was just going to say, as a defender, how do you even let that ball touch the ground? It's got to be cleared away. And as if this division needed any more help to talk about the ridiculousness that is, FC Tulsa has now taken a 2-1 lead at Birmingham Legion in the 75th minute.
Wow.
Indian Kansas City 2 tied 1-1. Never ceases to amaze me the parity that is the Central Division.
Especially when you look at those playoff places. 3 teams level on 22 points heading into the weekend. Here's Tosh. Fouled off it there, at least so thought Danny Cruz was open-o. It's done well into Chavez. Bringing Ellis Hayden into the attack. Forward. Doing well to keep it in play there. Initially was Wynn, but a bit too heavily off his head and coming to the Louisville keeper. Tosh. Winder. Well read there by Donovan. As now Wynn can burst forward here from wing back. He poked it off of Openo there. And it will be a throw-in. Nice ball there from Vasiljevic. Picking up Bijev in some space. 1v1 here against Gomez. This will be a test of the young left back. Trying to strike in towards the near post and never going to trouble Siegfried with that kind of effort.
Check Sharpie, though. He went down on the near touchline and is now back on the ground inside his own box in front of the goalkeeper. They had really tried to spread themselves even further, Louisville City, allowing Tyler Gibson to drop in between Winder and Sean Tosh. The interesting part of that was, though, they had flattened themselves very thin and bumped Gomez and West Sharpie even higher, and the response by Energy FC was very good. They dropped the run of Bijev over to the right flank. Said, okay, you're going to take chances over there. We're going to slide him in behind Jogo and see if we can go tit for tat. And Vasiljevic came to the left, but they flattened that out too, with Dunwell and Kurimoto next to each other, covering a lot of ground, a lot of space. Tactically, managers having fun as we approach the 45-minute mark.
There is Lee Fiedman, Liverpool-born, came to the U.S. to play for Des Moines Menace, bigger clubs now in USL League 2. Joined the coaching staff there under John Pascarella, and then became the manager here at OKC Energy. Ron Fiedman with him when Pascarella was let go. Fiedman taking charge. Come here for Gonzalez. Sharpie still not looking totally comfortable, but kind of gingerly coming forward there from right back. He's gingerly trotting back as well. I think you hear Danny Cruz signaling to one of the 7 available subs that there will be a change. I believe it'll be Akil Watts. As Sharpie has now just gone down, so the play can be stopped, and his substitution confirmation we're hearing from the touchline that it will indeed be Watts, and there is the board to confirm it.
Louisville City FC
giving the armband as well over to Cameron Lancaster, and so this day done after a little more than 38 minutes.
You got a feel for it. Wes Sharpie as well, who started the season as one of the walking wounded. Went that elongated preseason without any injuries whatsoever, and then just dropping like flies before the first match. Just made reference to the fact, Chris, that the rich were getting richer. Louisville City, this beautiful run they've been on, sitting atop the Central Division, trying to fight for #1 overall in the USL Championship, getting all their pieces back. Abdou Jam on the bench. Of course, Jorge Gonzalez has been back for a better portion of a month now. But all of those injuries that they did pick up, finally getting healthy. And now Wes Sharpie having to take a seat. Never fun as a manager. Finally, you feel like everything is really starting to put one foot in front of the other, and all of a sudden you have to adjust your step.
You mentioned Gonzalez. He tore his groin earlier on in the season, tore a muscle in his groin. Now Louisville looking to break. Gomez further on its way, out towards McLaughlin. Just couldn't keep it in play. Now for a throw. Bijev. McLaughlin doing well to pick it off of Bijev, and the referee just judging he committed a foul there. It will be a free kick. First, Fidelity Bank is proud to be an OKC Energy FC founding sponsor. Our 20 OKC Metro locations make banking convenient for you, especially when combined with our free worldwide ATMs, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. Visit www.ffb.com today. Decent first touch there from Chavez, but the referee and the assistant combining to award offside against the number 9, 33 from Industry, California. Tosh going route 1 there, but Gonzalez trying to play the bounce there. It came off of Batista. I guess Gonzalez got one last touch in there. It's out for a goal kick. OKC have only won 2 of 9 home matches this season, and what a scalp it would be. And then to pick up a third here against Louisville City. Or the form team of USL. 6 of their last 7, 4 on the trot, 10 of their last 13 as well. Been excellent in recent times. Ellis Hayden doesn't really have anyone to play it to. Just sends it up down the line there, and recovered by Louisville keeper Siegfried. So far in this season, Louisville have played twice as many home matches as away matches. This only their 7th away game of the season. Tosh plays it out there towards Gonzalez. Now here's Gomez. Played on there towards Gonzalez. Just read the flight of the ball well and picks it up. In behind towards McLaughlin, who has to take it towards the corner flag. Just poked that out of play, out for a throw.
Think about the fact that they do have to go on the road so much over the next couple of weeks, Chris. The start to the season, so many home matches that you just talked about. Actually reminded me of 2020, where out of the 16 that they played, they got the opportunity to play 11 in the friendly confines of Lynn Family Stadium, including 9 to start the year. It's not too bad.
Had plenty of opportunities to christen their new ground, opening just a year ago. First stadium's actually welcomed in a really significant crowd, 5,000, at a time when no one was welcoming people into stadiums. It's produced a great atmosphere, averaging close to 10,000 people per match. Wynn just tried to flick it on down the line there up towards Vasiljevic, who appreciated the idea, but couldn't quite execute it there. Declan Wynn. Donovan. This will be a free kick here. Bijev was caught. Now, just one last major opportunity here from a free kick. Come OKC Energy's way. Bijev, who's been over the set pieces in this one, with another chance to whip one in. Connor Donovan continuing to talk to the referee, Radasev. Bijev gets the signal. Just go over the top. Donovan was in there, but a good punch away there from Siegfried. Heavy touch away there from McLaughlin. Korimoto can get it back in. Approaching first half stoppage time. Been told there'd be a minimum of 4 minutes to be added on. Stoppage time is brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony is ready for you, for the game, for the team, for the community. At a moment's notice, without hesitation, as it's in towards that back post. Ellis Hayden watching it go out for a goal kick. There's confirmation of SSM Health St. Anthony stoppage time. We're ready and we're proud to be the Energy FC healthcare partner. SSM Health St. Anthony.
With the change at the goalkeeping position between Parker Siegfried and Chris Hubbard, you have to make sure that you still instill confidence within there. And though they've conceded late, this is good news for Louisville City fans. Look at Siegfried, who does not carry the biggest presence on the back line. They list him at 6'1", but it's not like he's got a huge stature about him. Great job stepping up and right in to the mix of all those big bodies right in front of him, top of the six. Good little punch away.
Winder. In towards the area there from McLaughlin, and easily handled there by Batista. Here for CJ Cochran. In his second season, in his second stint with OKC Energy. Part of the run in the 2017 Western Final. Win now. Trying to pick out Chavez in behind. Did he get a head to it? It was crashed into there by Akil Watts. And it will be a goal kick. Lee Wiedman having a go at the fourth official, asking for a penalty.
My first thought this was a stretch, but I want to see the foot of Akil Watts. How high does this come? That stretched a little bit. I'm not necessarily sure that I'm pointing to the mark though, Chris.
It's a big call. You can see that the lines on the pitch have been redrawn recently on the evidence of the chalk on Chavez's right arm. Is a heavy sliding challenge in there from Ellis Hayden on McLaughlin. And it will indeed be a yellow card for Zach Ellis-Hayden. Crunching challenge on that right side. He's a booking for Ellis-Hayden, his 4th of the year.
And these dead ball situations just before halftime can do so many things for a team. They can give you the confidence coming out of the dressing room that really make you start to fly, and also plant a seed of doubt in your opposition. Even if it doesn't end up in the back of the net, give yourself a real good look at this to have a positive feeling walking into the dressing room.
As the free kick was delivered in towards the back post, but gone and been claimed there by C.J. Cochran. Osman finding a good ball in mind here towards Chavez, working against Tosh. Chavez trying to strike from a narrow angle and forcing a decent save there out of Parker Siegfried. Would have been expected to have his post covered, but it was well struck there by Chavez.
One of the issues you run into against this Louisville City squad is even though there is space to be taken advantage of, a lot of time it's one-offs, Chris, and that's why I talked about you're going to have to win some of these 1v1 battles. And even on the quick turn where you feel like you get the best of Sean Tosh, you've still got a real good goalkeeper behind him in Parker Siegfried. Expect some support here from Energy FC as you progress into the second half. They've got to find a way where it's not those isolated 1v1s. You're getting help from Bijev and Basulovic coming up underneath.
And it is Bijev with a cross in, well handled there by Siegfried. And there is the halftime whistle. We've yet to have a breakthrough at either end here at the Taft Stadium. Louisville coming close on a couple of occasions. OKC Energy having some chances on the counter-attack, but in the end we arrive at halftime still at a stalemate. Louisville City forced into a change here in this first half with Wes Sharpie coming off due to injury. Akil Watts coming on for him, but in the end we arrive at halftime with your score: OKC Energy 0, Louisville City 0. When we come back, we'll have full halftime coverage, take you around the USL and bring you first half highlights as well, as we're in Oklahoma City Volkswagen halftime with your score: OKC Energy 0, Louisville City 0.
Real commitment doesn't stumble. It doesn't hesitate. It's ready at a moment's notice, on the sidelines and in the stands. It leans in and gets loud. We're ready for you, for our club, for our city, for whatever comes next. We're SSM Health St. Anthony, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partners of the OKC Energy FC.
Drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Your old squad shitty, my bros rock.
Halftime at Taft Stadium with OKC Energy playing host to Louisville City. And Devin, let's get stuck into the Fans Mid-Season Awards. You can vote on various categories on USLChampionship.com and their social platforms. For the following awards, we'll start first with Goalkeeper of the Year. Elliot Panico has the lead in clean sheets. Who would you go for out of this lot?
I'm picking either Pennick or Caldwell. Here's the problem I have, though, is Matt Van Oekel is so important to the Birmingham Legion. Rocco Rios-Nova, remember, Champions League earlier this season. Don't sleep on Atlanta United, too. And Alex Tambakis has kept New Mexico United alive. I said yesterday, if not for him, all of those draws that they're compiling up would probably turn into losses. So I choose option F.
What, all of the above?
Bingo. Yeah, all the above, all the above.
Fair enough.
I can't make anybody angry in that aspect.
Again, you can vote for these on USLChampionship.com. Defender of the Year, 2 players in the match that we're watching, Connor Donovan and Jonathan Gomez among the candidates.
Jogo, I'm going to stand out in this category because he's stood up in the field of play. It's interceptions, it's duels won, it's goals, it's assists, 2 and 6, by the way. A two-way player up and down the field, high IQ, pace, recognition. He does it all. Former Louisville man Paco Craig, nice little nod on the far side there as well.
And you have Yuma and Aaron Kian as the other options for El Paso and Tampa Bay, respectively. And another award we'll take a look at, Coach of the Year. Rick Schantz always has the Phoenix team playing well, Phoenix rising, but Danny Cruz for Louisville, since he's taken over, has been exceptional.
Done very well for himself. Well-oiled machines is the problem that I have with the latter 4. For Louisville, Pitt, El Paso, and Phoenix. We've seen it over and over and over again. We haven't seen it in RGV. RGV haven't had a season like this since Wilma Cabrera was in charge 2016 before he went to the Houston Dynamo. He's turned that team around. One of the worst, now possibly one of the best. Definitely a top 10 team in the USL Championship. I lean to Cabrera.
And these are your Coach of the Year candidates, but as you mentioned, Bob Lilly, Mark Lowry, Rick Schantz almost becoming institutions. Young Player of the Year, Ronaldo Damas, the Haitian, has been excellent for Orange County as the top goal-scoring figure, but Misha Galina for Colorado Springs has the highest goals plus assist tally.
I'm either with Galina or Luna on this one. There are so many good options. I just made the case for Jonathan Gomez. The problem is here for me is normally for the Young Player of the Year, you start to look a bit further up the field and the impact that they can have overall. Galina and Luna provide that, especially Galina, the distributor for Haji Berry. A lot of times, Haji Berry bagged his 19th goal last night in 19 games. You got to figure that 5 of those assists come off of that man on the far right, Michi Galina.
And the wide players for Colorado Springs have been instrumental to their very potent attack. As we now take a look at the candidates for MVP. You mentioned Haji Berry. 19 goals on the season. You look at the goals per minute tally for Nico Brett as well for Birmingham, but Haji Berry has to be the favorite.
None of these teams have success without these players. The difference is if you remove Solomon Asante, Phoenix is still going to be very good. If you remove Nico Brett, Birmingham Legion still have options. Now, he's the #1 option, but he's still very important, right? I go with Haji Berry here because without his goals, he's got half the team's goals. Simple enough. 40 goals in the back of the net. He's put 19 in there. If you take his goals away, they're not sitting in third. They might be sitting at the bottom of the table next to the Monarchs.
And on his way towards the goal-scoring record for the USL Championship, Haji Berry, what a player for Colorado Springs Switchbacks. When we come back, we'll have more from around the USL at halftime here between OKC Energy and Louisville City.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Tees it up, what a strike, and what a goal! Hartford has a goal!
And Lou City double their money. And how sweet the sound at Lynn Family Stadium.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
You deserve something sweet, like Brahms' new fancy sundaes. The sticky bun has the perfect hint of cinnamon, topped with smooth, hot caramel and pecans. There's the undeniably delicious cocoa banana ice cream covered in hot fudge and slices of banana. And who could resist 2 scoops of white chocolate strawberry tart filled with pound cake and more strawberries? Or French chocolate macaroon with marshmallow atop Brahms' freshly baked macaroon cookies. Try one or all 4 at Brahms, because you deserve it.
Remains halftime at Taft Stadium as OKC Energy play host to Louisville City. And Devin, let's take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship. It is Supporters Month. You can go to uslchampionship.com/supporters-month for more. But the talking point in the week was Braden Cloutier out in Orange County. What do you make of the change there?
It's a head nod, not a head turner, a nod, because outside of last night's victory over San Diego Loyal, only 1 win in their previous 8. So the form was definitely faltering. The difference was they were 1-1-1 in their last 3. So you kind of look and say, okay, they were turning things around a little bit, and they're still in 2nd place. They were in 4th going into last night's game, so you were still above the playoff line. When I look at their roster overall, I don't look at a team that could go and win the Pacific. I look at a team that needs to get into the playoffs, have the talent to do it, and then try and pick some people apart. So that's why I said it's a head nod. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with it, but hey, that's why I'm sitting here with you, right?
And Speedy Williams is your Clear Audio Player of the Week as we take a look at some results from last night in the USL Championship. A high-scoring affair in Charlotte as it's Charlotte 3, Colorado Springs 3. In the late night, Sacramento putting in a good performance away at Phoenix.
Deserved probably better. Let me back that up for a second. They deserved better, not probably better. They deserved 3 points. They were the better team. More shots on goal. Carried the better run of form going forward, but sometimes that's how it is. Most importantly, they didn't drop. They've now gone 7 unbeaten, 3 wins and 4 draws. That team has turned it around. The Independence and Switchbacks FC game had something going on. That was sugar water from start to finish, I can tell you that much. And there's the result that I talked about. Orange County 2-1 on the road against San Diego Loyal. Quality result.
Big win as well for Oakland Roots, beating Las Vegas by 3-1. Coming up later on this week in your upcoming schedule, presented by Love's. First on Monday, it is loud and entertaining Tampa Bay. Austin will host New Mexico United on Wednesday. What's the pick of that group of matches, Devin?
I'm all about that 901 FC Tulsa game. Memphis 901 FC is right there. Understand that from 3rd to 7th in the Central Division, they are separated by 4 points. 901 FC chasing everybody down, including OKC Energy FC, just 1 point ahead virtually coming into this game. They get a victory on the road against FC Tulsa, who has been struggling. They are right back in the thick of things, knocking on the door of not just playoffs, but possibly the number 3rd spot overall.
When we come back, we will have first half highlights and second half kickoff. Louisville City away at OKC Energy.
United Turf and Track is proud to be a partner and the official sports field service provider for the Energy FC practice facility and training grounds. United Turf and Track is a turnkey sports field construction, installation, renovation, and consulting company for natural grass and synthetic turf field systems. With over 50 years of combined experience in sports field construction and service management, United Turf and Track is the only certified field builder in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Contact us today for your next field construction or renovation project.
To the IT professionals, enabling companies across the country to work from home and making business as usual out of unusual circumstances. This new way of working doesn't work without you. Your company is counting on you, and you can count on Cox Business Cloud Solutions. So keep collaborating, keep adapting. We'll keep your data safe and accessible through it all.
Welcome to Love's. Here, technology drives us. That's why we research technology advancements in our own labs. It's why we're constantly developing new tools to improve the ways you move. Ways that lead to safer, more efficient travel. Here at Love's, we believe that technology drives us all forward. Love's, working to bring innovation to the highway.
In Volkswagen at halftime, OKC Volkswagen halftime. It is Energy FC 0, Louisville City 0 at the break as we can get stuck into our first half highlights that are brought to you by Panera Bread. Chris Whittingham, Devin Kerr here at the break, and the chances will get started with Louisville hitting on the break. Napa Masoso finding Antoine Openo, and unable to scramble it over the line there was Jimmy McLaughlin.
This wasn't the normal surge we've become accustomed to seeing out of Louisville City. Shot out of a cannon, 10-15 chances in the opening 20 minutes. However, good one on the back post, can't put it away. A bit surprised that it didn't end up in the back of the net, but they have a quality sparring partner here in Energy FC. I respect a team that's willing to play to their best attributes as opposed to stepping up to the line and get into a slugfest. This team sitting back, absorbing pressure. They're going to pick and choose their moments going the other direction. How many they're going to get is going to be the question, because there weren't a lot in the first half, but a lot of teams will step up and say, you know what, we're going to try and play with Louisville. They get themselves into trouble. Instead, knotted up at halftime, rightfully so.
And these are halftime stats brought to you by Braum and Louisville, outpossessing OKC Energy, but yet to register a shot on target.
Not surprised that they've had so much possession, just the fact that they haven't hit the target yet, Chris. You hit the nail on the head right there. They've got to find a way to find Cameron Lancaster and Antoine Openo a bit more. McLaughlin has been busy, but with Gonzalez dropping down underneath, I said you got to watch the guys in the middle. Masoso and Gonzalez really haven't done a good enough job of finding a way to bridge that 15 or 20-yard space in between the midfield three and the front line. Cameron Lancaster touched the ball 6 times in the first half. That's just not enough.
As we're underway for the second 45 minutes of play, Louisville will get started with the ball going from right to left in the white and purple. OKC Energy in the off pink and green, going from left to right. And Louisville making a change at halftime as well, which is brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony, with Paulo Del Piccolo coming in for Jimmy McLaughlin. You mentioned, Devin, his involvement there, going down in wide areas. You'd imagine that it sends Jorge Gonzalez out towards that wide position down the left. But what do you make of the change?
Has to be, especially given the praise that Danny Cruz gave to his midfielder, Jorge Gonzalez, who's now going to step onto that front line. Really likes the relationship that has been cultivated over the past couple of weeks since coming back from injury between he and Lancaster. It's just not enough. It doesn't matter how much you have the ball, it's what you do with it, right? That purposeful possession, as coaches like to call it. Too much side to side, not enough verticality in the threat going forward.
Nice challenge there from Ellis Hayden to win the ball off of Gomez. Bijev with a decent first touch to meet it as well. Still pinging around. Del Piccolo and Gomez going down off the ball. And it's Paulo Del Piccolo just settling things a little bit so Tosh can take the free kick. It's gone direct up here to Jorge Gonzalez. Not too many options running with him at the moment. Towards the byline, getting the cross away, and an easy catch there for CJ Cochran, who handles for OKC Energy. Score a great deal with the Brahms Family 4-pack for only $49. You'll get 4 match tickets, 2 buy 1 get 1 free Brahms combo vouchers, and 4 Energy FC hats. Visit energyfc.com/Brahms to pick up your Brahms Family 4-pack. Masoso. So already Louisville making 2 changes. There are 5 available. Sharpie coming off due to injury in the first half. And McLaughlin coming off at halftime for Del Piccolo. Akil Watts was the change in at right back in his second full season after arriving through a transfer in 2019. connection with the previous head coach Sean Hackworth of the U.S. residency, as Gomez with a nice pullback into the penalty area here. Laid off here for Lancaster, who was stumbling down to the ground there and allowed the deflection there from Energy FC. It's a good layoff from Del Piccolo.
It was a bit awkward in his run-up, wasn't it? Just couldn't exactly get full stride into it to get enough power, head over it, even laces down, or at least put some quality momentum through the instep. Took about 5 steps when 2 would have done.
There's Gomez. Defenders resetting around him so he can play this ball behind here for Gonzalez. Now doing a little poke it around. Osman, we put the sliding challenge in there. Vasiljevic to try and pick up the second ball. Multiple shouts there for handball, but we play on. Gomez now into Del Piccolo, lining up a strike. Nice challenge in there from Connor Donovan. And now Osman to head clear. And further still there from Vasiljevic. Batista just sending it over the Louisville press. Here's Tosh. OKC Energy perhaps not pressing as much as expected coming into this one. Aggressive team at home at the Taft Stadium, but need to keep Louisville in front of them. There's a nice challenge in there from Batista, poking it away as Gonzalez has been the danger man early stages here in the second half, and a bit slow to get up here after he went to ground. As you mentioned, is coming off of a torn muscle in his groin. Need from Portland Timbers is a couple of goals in 7 appearances. As it will be a Little Caesars corner for Louisville. Actually, will be Lancaster to take. In towards the back post, who was hit with real pace. The corresponding header from Gonzalez just sent over the bar there. Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner and team docs for Energy FC for 121 years. SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. It's fizzed out towards the left side there with Declan Wynn, who did well just to take the sting out of it. Into Chavez. He tried the layoff there for Bichev, but it was just a bit beyond him. Now Masoso trying to lead Louisville into the attack. Openo into the back post. Well tracked there in the air by Mitchell Osman. For Gonzalez could get ahead to it. Now Bijev can settle it. The Bulgarian. 16 goals and 13 assists in 4 seasons with Sacramento. To become a talismanic figure, though, in OKC. Joined 6th for goals scored in the USL. You have a player who's joined 2nd on the pitch as well for Louisville, Cameron Lancaster, on 11 goals. All looking well up, though, at Haji Berry. Top goal scorer in the league for Colorado Springs. He's got 19 on the season. And 2nd is 11. This goes to show the massive differences. Wynn kept it in play there and left some real danger there for Brad Dunwell to deal with, and he had to commit and fouled Masoso.
Boys are about to get lapped.
Yeah.
Don't start sticking more in the back of the net. Haji Berry is going to really put this thing to bed and do it early. I think for Cameron Lancaster, who set that record, 25 goals in the regular season back in 2018. He's still on good pace himself. 11 goals in 13 appearances so far. Of course, 14 tonight.
Gomez with a cross in.
Simple math, you double it. Think, well, maybe he could break his own record as well. It's a different flow, though. The special sequences that were Cameron Lancaster in 2018 seem a bit further away from the thought processes. There's a rough little challenge here, tracking back Winder and Tosh getting tangled up.
And it's going to be a yellow card here for Joshua Winder as he pulled back Ellis Hayden, who was very clearly beyond him. And for snuffing out that counterattack in a cynical manner, earns his second professional booking.
This is always one of those ones that as a youngster you learn from. Because of the fact that you have the coverage here, Chris, you don't need to take him down whatsoever. Just 16 years of age, the youthful exuberance getting in the way of Joshua Winder and his thoughts as this started to counter going the other direction.
So those are the elements of the pro game. They're different, knowing when to take yellows and perhaps be a bit cynical. But there, as you mentioned, had plenty of white and purple shirts beyond him there to cover the surging run forward there from Ellis Hayden.
It's one of the areas of the game for a youngster, especially on the back line, specifically the center backs. It's so difficult to judge and then pick it up because everything is transitional. So at 16 years of age, your IQ is there in order to break a game down, right? So, okay, the runner tracks this way, communication, pass him off. We're playing out of the back. Where's my first option come from? If I go direct over the top, where do we then start to step into this space in front of us? But when you come the other direction, that's when it gets a bit dicey. That's when there's a lot more moving pieces. Your outside back steps out, you slide over, your other center back comes with you, and your brain goes, wow, what do I do now? You have to find ways to slow the game down, and to be honest, that just comes with repetition. When you start to get 5, 10, 15 under your belt, your brain processes at a different rate. So it's much easier to make those decisions as opposed to really getting in the way of your own thought process and making a mistake.
Now Gonzalez trying to drift through. OKC defense here. See Danny Cruz over talking with some substitutions as Ellis Hayden fouled on the near side. Experienced a fair bit of contact here in the second half. 10 minutes gone in the second 45 minutes. Energy FC is excited to welcome the Lincoln at Central Park Apartments is a proud partner of the club, the official home of Energy FC players. The Lincoln at Central Park Apartment Homes is the epitome of luxury apartment living in Oklahoma City. For more information, please call 405-759-5583. Mention promo code #ThisIsOurCity for special discounts.
You ever been to Oklahoma City?
I have not had the distinct pleasure.
I want to go. I've been as a child. I mean, some would argue that I still am, but in my adult form, that is my current age and body type. I hear great things, especially the food.
Ooh.
Yeah, my brother is based out of Austin and does a lot of business in Oklahoma City and always talks about the food on his journeys.
Now Ellis Hayden running here at Gomez, trying to turn him inside out. Still work to do there for Gomez as Ellis Hayden just pulled him to the turf, and it will be a free kick. Lee Wiedman continuing to give instructions to his players. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Meola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr?
Whoops.
Did I read that name
Sorry,
correctly?
man. Forgot
Every
to tell
Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Siegfried getting ready to come out for a throw. Any preview on what's to come on the show this week, Devin?
We've got a fun one, actually.
Oh, you sparked into life when I asked you that question.
I'll tease the interview, and I'll give you a hint. They played last night. There you go. That's the best I got.
Okay.
Absolutely
10
not.
teams played last night.
We're very fortunate to have Mike Jeffries, head coach of Charlotte Independence, talk about their run of form that has been in the Atlantic Division, trying to make their way back into playoff position, and all of the signings that they've had from literally world-class players. Christian Fuchs on loan from Charlotte FC.
Yeah.
Gabriel Aubertin most recently, Newcastle United, Manchester United, and the pedigree that is. And Sylvain Marveaux, who put together last night one of the single best performances I have ever seen in the championship since I've been involved in the league.
Wow.
He was 31 of 32 passing, had 42 touches on the ball. By the way, that's 75% of his touches were one-touch passes. And yeah, had a goal and an assist to boot. Not a bad night's work.
And a 3-3 with Colorado Springs.
Well, that was a given.
Right. Their games involve goals. Here's Akil Watts. He's 21 himself from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Look at this back four. 16, 17, 21. And then Sean Tosh providing the experience at 29. Lancaster shouts for offside there from the OKC defenders, are heated by the refereeing crew led by Callan Radisov. One yellow card for either team. Joshua Winder for Louisville, Zach Ellis Hayden for Louisville. Or for OKC, beg your pardon.
That's okay, next one, come on, next one.
The throw-in to come here for Louisville. We're hearing word that Shea Adekoya will come on here as a substitute. He's in for Jaime Chavez, the change here for OKC Energy. Adekoya joined on loan from Phoenix Rising. Former homegrown player with the Seattle Sounders. Run out here, a little more than a half hour on his 7th substitute appearance of the year. He can earn a starting position here with his first OKC Energy goal. Gonzalez. This has fallen to the turf on a couple of occasions. Perhaps a victim to those turf monsters.
Go.
Winder.
Stay with him, stay with him. Well done.
Trying to send it on its way towards Gomez, but just had a bit too much pace on it. It's come out for a throw. Devin, what do you make of a team in a title race going with such a young defense in Louisville?
Number one, it's a testament to their depth. It's also part of that process you and I spoke about in the first half where you've got to find a way to continue to give players experience. That's not a disrespectful nod to OKC Energy FC, because it's easy to look and say, well, they're below them in the standings. Well, everybody's below them in the standings. So you could make the same argument for Birmingham that you could for Energy FC that you could for FC Tulsa, right? And the fact that they have so many games on the road with all the travel, you can't ask the same performances out of the same 11 every single game. You're playing on average every 3.5 days. The best teams in the world don't do that. Why would they think that equation would work for Lou City? And so at some point in time, as good as some of these youngsters are, whether it's Josh Winder, Akil Watts, Jogo, of course, that we're talking about what's in front of us, Elijah Winder, the brother as well, you progress through the academy ranks with Lou City or abroad, you've got to find a way to get professional minutes. It's simple as that, because it's a different game stepping forward.
Winder going well forward here from center back, kind of left the ball behind him. The first time strike from Del Piccolo forces a good save there out of CJ Cochran. Joshua Winder with a little bit of a sojourn forward there. Now Adekoya. See, finding Ellis Hayden joining the attack. Lining up that switch out to the far side. Measuring it in the sun there was Declan Wynn. Nice first time touch there from Kurimoto. Adekoya trying to take it into the space in the middle. Just ran out of room.
Hey, kick it out. Kick it out. Okay, let's go now.
And encouraged to just put it out of play there was Gonzalez, as Jonathan Gomez staying down the other end of the pitch.
We've already lost one outside back in Wes Sharpie. To make that change all the way back in the 39th minute. Akil Watts stepping in, and now Jonathan Gomez, who comes up lame on that far side.
And there will be a change here as Oscar Jimenez will make his long-awaited return from injury. It's a long-term injury due to knee cartilage. He's on 33 career assists with Louisville City since arriving in 2017. Basically an average of 8 assists a season for a fullback. As Gomez has gingerly come off. I think the referee just waving both sets of players to come on as Gomez has helped off. Not what Louisville City would be hoping for the remainder of their campaign. Certainly hope that's not serious.
It's crazy to think that you haven't seen Oscar Jimenez in a Lou City uniform in game play since April 24th. That was the opening day 2-0 victory against Atlanta United 2. He went the distance. Yep, played very well for himself. There is something interesting brewing here in Louisville, and to parry alongside the point you just made, you're hoping that Jogo is not hurt. I want to know what it looks like when they're both healthy. When Jonathan Gomez and Oscar Jimenez are both available selection, and getting them on the field at the same point in time. That gives you the luxury to attack a bit more on the left-hand side. Do you drop into a 3? Do you push Jimenez out of his normal position back over to the right back spot? Pat McMahon has laid claim to that spot. And Danny Cruz has been very happy with his performances. I don't blame him at all. But right now, all that you're focused on in the immediate future is the next 26 minutes and change with Oscar Jimenez stepping into his comfortable position at the outside marking back spot on the left flank.
Openo doing well to get round Batista. Now Del Piccolo into space, having a go from a long distance. Cochran at full stretch, but watched it as it was always going wide of target there. Energy FC wants to thank Tropical Smoothie Cafe for helping feed our players and for being a proud partner of Energy FC. Check out one of their 15 Oklahoma City metro locations or visit order.tropicalsmoothiecafe.com to get your smoothies delivered. Gonzalez has the ball in the penalty area. Now here is the substituted Jimenez with a nice floated ball into Del Piccolo. Just tried to flick it on there. Lancaster threatening, and Osmond just sticking his backside out. Or actually it was Donovan to prevent the Englishman from getting to that one. Allowing CJ Cochran to claim. Part of last year on loan at Nashville SC in the MLS's a chance here for Adekoya. The nice burst of pace, but Tosh sticking his body in the way. Adekoya trying to get around him. Fouled Sean Tosh with a good bit of defending there from the Louisville defender. Brahms has been serving delicious cheeseburgers made with 100% pure beef patties, along with their signature limeades and crinkle-cut fries, real hand-dipped ice cream, thick milkshakes, old-fashioned banana splits, and sundaes, all made with their farm fresh milk. Brahms, farm fresh for over 50 years, proud partner of OKC Energy. Jimenez as Kyle Gregg being prepared by Danny Cruz to come on. Masoso closed down there by Dunwell as it comes wide here. Openo just trying to get out of his feet. It will be a throw in here to OKC Energy. Neither side particularly close to finding the breakthrough at the moment. OKC Energy, as the game goes on, we'll see more and more their chances to get all 3 points. Just about kept in play there by Openo. Flag staying down. Lancaster unable to get there. Ellis Hayden took him out of play and out for a throw. Ellis Hayden just not measuring the space available. He wanted to set it into his stride so he can play it down the line, but throw in now. Played here by Louisville. Continue their road trip away at Birmingham next time out. 1 versus 2 right now in the Central Division. Tosh. A couple of other games in the Central Division. Birmingham losing to FC Tulsa by 2-1. Sporting Kansas City 2 and Indy 11, 1-1. Here's Masoso. Del Piccolo. For Oscar Jimenez. And the low cross is cut out there initially there by Ellis Hayden. Lancaster throwing himself about to try and keep it there for Louisville. Winder got a touch forward, but Bijev has done well to win it off Jimenez. Uses his fresh legs to put a body in the way. Get Bijev off it.
Doesn't look like he's missed a beat, does it? Oscar Jimenez, great step in. And, you know, there's this calmness about Oscar Jimenez, whether he's streaking at 100 miles an hour going the other direction, trying to whip a ball into the box, or his distribution from dead ball situations, or just there tracking back defensively to help out. The coolest kid on the block, Oscar Jimenez, always leading his team back to front.
Gonzalez, first and beyond Dunwell, who falls trying to chase him. Del Piccolo turning over either shoulder. Watts in the cross in, it's over everyone. It's gone straight out for a goal kick. First Fidelity Bank is proud to be an OKC Energy FC founding sponsor. Our 20 OKC Metro locations make banking convenient for you, especially when combined with our free worldwide ATMs, mobile banking, and mobile deposit. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. Visit ffb.com today.
Like the little shouts from the sideline.
Yeah.
How about them? Get them started early.
Young
Absolutely.
fans in attendance
And
supporting their home side.
Grid could take some lessons behind the north goal. These young ladies doing a great job of urging their home squad on.
There will be a corner to come. Lancaster going to leave it for Jimenez. Will now resume set-piece duties. So many for Louisville City, as it will be a Little Caesars corner. Into the 6-yard box, punched away there from Cochran. Dunwell couldn't fully clear his lines and allows Louisville to keep it in play there.
Whoops.
Gibson and Bijev get into it. It's going to be a free kick. Seemed like the referee changed his mind on his way walking over. Bijev and Gibson having a serious conversation. As Bijev just pointing at his right foot saying, yeah, you kicked me.
This spot right here. As a defender, I'm already out the tunnel. I don't care what the foul looks like. I'm making sure that I'm as far away from the infraction as possible as soon as that whistle is blown. It's one of my favorite videos. You know, social media can be a crazy world, but the video that surfaced of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, where the referee was trying to book him and he told the referee to come to him. The referee kept waving him and Zlatan kept waving him back over. What a personality.
Open up.
You're just asking for it at that point.
Yeah.
No, you come to me, sir. You come get your stern talking to about why you're booking me.
Winder. Now Akil Watts. Masoso taking a step around the defender and having a nice strike towards goal, but Cochran well behind it. Strike from the midfield player originally from Lesotho.
We need the opposite, mate. We need the opposite. Hey.
There's no real rhythm over the last 15 minutes, is there? Game's kind of hit a doldrum of sorts. We've seen some wide open play. We've seen Louisville City with a quality understanding of where they could break things down. Unfortunately, that hasn't matriculated to any goals for them.
Good pressing here from Del Piccolo. Louisville to try and break, but in the final moment, just not sharp enough, allowing OKC to get numbers back. Nice flick on there from Masoso, but a better step there from Connor Donovan.
Look at the numbers, though.
Yeah.
You're 6'3" if you're an Energy FC player. It's just a sea of white that doesn't really mesh well with the pink jerseys. Lack of numbers moving forward.
We're seeing it down at both ends, really. Louisville players running into walls of OKC defenders and OKC attackers running into walls of Louisville defenders. That evidence seems for the moment like both managers would be okay with the point. Masoso. So we'll have a hydration break fairly soon, as we've had close to a half hour of the second half. Here's Winder.
Hey, take some space. Take some space. Come on.
Joshua Winder making his third start, along with brother Elijah on an academy contract here at Louisville from the local area. Poked on there for Kurimoto. Makes a surging run forward there from midfield. Jeff spotted the switch. Fizzed it over towards Zach Ellis Hayden. Space to assess his options. He'll lay it off here with Adekoya.
Forgot something.
Nice skill there to get through the legs there of Jimenez Megdum, and then won the free kick.
Quality bit of footwork on display here from Che Adekoya on the near touchline.
Switch on!
And it will be a free kick here for Villiam Bijev. And it's in towards the back post, him glancing through, and it's gone out for a throw-in down the far side.
Hey!
Referee and fourth official deliberating over the hydration break. Going over there was Vasiljevic, referee not interested. Jimenez.
Fantastic referee. Just allows the fucking counter attack.
Imby had in towards Gonzalez. Now Gonzalez trying to square it. Lancaster will pick it up out the other side. Donovan staying down. Now Jimenez. Masoso into Gonzalez trying to interchange. Nice skill there from Masoso. Just had to take it through too many players. Was dealt with by OKC in the end. Watts. Winder back here to Tosh. Nice ball between the lines. Stefano Scott Jimenez, who popped up in that half space there. Gonzalez, his advantage is awarded. Masoso. Watts arriving on the overlap. Viedman encouraging his players just to come up a little bit. He's so deep at the moment. Winder. Shea Adekoya being urged to a little bit forward. Jimenez. And Masoso giving it away cheaply there. Now Wynn coming forward. Here with Viljan Bijev.
Oh, he's in.
Leaving Masoso behind him. He plays it in here, in towards Shea Adekoya. Into the penalty area, but again runs into a wall of defenders. Masoso is in there, and Adekoya taking him out, and it will be a free kick.
It's beautifully done here by Viljan Bijev to bring this down and then understand that he's got the cross run coming through by Shea Adekoya. Once again, though, as these teams attack forward, it is diabolical to me how they don't have more numbers helping out. The options are there. They're just not trailing in support, and really we've seen that for probably the last 15 or 20 minutes. It's not going to help you move up through the rankings in your division.
As we can now indeed take a look at these standings here in the Central Division heading into the evening. Louisville 6 points clear of Birmingham Legion, and then an even bigger distance between themselves and Atlanta United 2 and 3rd. OKC Energy with a point can put themselves in good stead in and around FC Tulsa and Indy 11, but at home would probably want to do with all three.
Can tell you this as well, Birmingham Legion did in fact drop points to FC Tulsa, so virtually FC Tulsa back above the playoff line. How is that possible? Well, number one, they go to 25 points. Indy 11 draws Sporting Kansas City 2. So Indy 11 goes back below. They're sitting in 5th at 23 points. This division is a whirlwind. Central Division and the Pacific Division, you basically got one or two. I'm referencing Phoenix in the Pacific, and of course Louisville and Birmingham within the Central, and then everybody else. Trying to figure out what kind of form they want to be in. Can they go on a run? Okay, we're up, we're down, it's in, it's out. There's no real collective performances within any of those groups, to be fair. A lot of talent.
Number 10, Arun Vasilovic.
Double change coming on here for OKC Energy. Brad Dunwell and Arun Vasilovic will make way here for Mwang Sunday and Tucker Stevenson. Lee Viedman have been planning to make these changes for a couple of minutes, but didn't really have the window to do so with the hydration breaks and the like. One on here for Louisville as well, as Tyler Gibson will make way for Kyle Gregg. They also bringing Alexis Suahi on for Antoine Opano.
Louisville City FC substitution.
Louisville using their full allotment of changes. OKC still with another window to use.
Number 12, Tyler Gibson. Replacing him, number 21, Kyle Gregg. Also leading the match, number 29, Antoine
These
Opano.
substitutions all brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony.
Here comes that level pivot from Louisville City that we have seen towards the tail end of their games. The good thing is they continue to create more opportunities off of it. The bad news is their identity over this stretch of 7 unbeaten can't close out games. They concede.
Yep.
Inside 5, inside 10 minutes. Fortunately enough for them, they're usually sitting on a lead. The problem is that doesn't always end up with 3 points. And just ask Colorado Springs about that. They've got to get better down the stretch here.
In their last 7 matches, Louisville have conceded 4 goals after the 86th minute. And often they're, as you said, Devin, consolation goals and victories, but still something that Danny Cruz wants to clean up for matches like this when they're close, heading down the end. Here's Del Piccolo. Jimenez tried to fizz it in behind there in towards the substitute Kyle Gregg, who had to wait a bit longer than expected to sign with another USL club. He's got 5 here for Louisville, and this is 16th appearance. 9th from the bench. As Winder going through the substitute Stevenson there to win the header, but OKC back on it Sunday. 27-year-old Nigerian, due to COVID restrictions, couldn't sign in 2020. Ellis Hayden trying to interchange there with Shea Okoye, who comes back and just catches a little piece there of Lancaster. And it's a free kick to Louisville just behind the halfway line.
You and I were talking about this before we came on air, Chris. Think about the luxury you have if you're Danny Cruz, going from Cameron Lancaster to Kyle Gregg, both of which tied for 5th all-time in regular season goals in USL Championship history at 62. That's 124 goals between the two of them, which is a big number. But just to give you a frame of reference, Energy FC as an organization since 2018 have only scored 121.
That's incredible. And you have 2 strikers who have
eclipsed that,
combined for more than that.
Told you, rich get richer.
And now, when you're Kyle Gregg looking for your next club, figuring out where am I going to get the best opportunities, even with Cameron Lancaster, you still have your chances to play and score goals. And success very much begetting success. Clubs like Louisville, see Phoenix as well with a similar phenomenon.
Just wonder on the inside of things here for Louisville City, is there enough in the tank for Masoso and Gonzalez to continue to be active and find a way to combine with Kyle Gregg, the substitute? And Cameron Lancaster, of course, has been here from the start as well. So that he's finally gotten back to his scoring ways. He had gone quite a few matches without hitting the back of the net, at least from the run of play. A couple penalties to his name, but finally back on the score sheet and regularly. And quiet here tonight, to be fair, not necessarily to the fault of himself. Hasn't had a lot of ball movement up his way, nor down into the channels for him to run onto.
Tosh into Gregg as the sliding challenge well won there by Ellis Hayden. And it'll be a throw-in to OKC. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the 90. And the game still in the balance. Nice layoff there from Okoye. Just too much pace on it. And there by Stevenson. As a throw-in came in. Flicked into Lancaster, nice first touch into the penalty area, and then having to pull Batista to the ground. Batista doing well just to get in the way. Slow down the roll of Lancaster. Breaks up his 2 spells in Louisville with time in Nashville. Scored 5 goals for the club while they were in USL, their final season before moving to MLS. Masoso. Nicely done there by Gonzalez to find Watts overlapping. He's got to pick out a better ball. Server's been a bit lacking as that one recovered by Jimenez on the back post. Just ran himself out of play. Now for a throw. Falling off it there, Stevenson. For both sets of coaches have a go at our match day referee. Kurimoto just asking for Gregg just to back off it. Osman Sunday. It's OKC Energy trying to avenge their 2 earlier victories from earlier this season. 2 earlier defeats, I should say, at the hands of Louisville. It was a 3-1 and a 2-1 at the Lynn Family Stadium. Now here at home, the chance to get a win here late. It's a Louisville side who have been one of the best in the USL Championship this season, but done a lot of their damage at home. Embark on a lengthy spell away from over the course of the end of the season. 10 from 14 down the stretch are away from home. Will look to pick up some results, prove their mettle on their travels. As Watts will have a throw in deep in the OKC end into Del Piccolo. Just tries to maneuver through the traffic there. As Kurimoto just slams it forward. Adekoya with a nice sombrero there over Tosh, but left too much of it there for Winder. Could still get there though. As Parker Siegfried came racing off his line to claim. Lovely skill there from Shea Adekoya.
Yeah, Tucker Stevenson coming over that right shoulder too, and that's what happens in these games, Chris, where when you don't have a lot of opportunities come your way, you're chasing so much, your judgment starts to get clouded. And you fail to do the simplistic things that are right in front of you. Just one foot in front of another, take an easy touch, and try and find a way to close it out. Instead, it escapes him.
Now Watts. Leaving it there for Suahi. Masoso. And there is a minimum of 5 minutes to be added on here of stoppage time, brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. Masoso. It's come off Adekoya last and out for a throw in extra time brought to you, or rather stoppage time brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony is ready for you, for the game, for the team, for the community at a moment's notice without hesitation. We're ready, and we're proud to be the Energy FC healthcare partner. Winder. Adekoya, who said they're shouting at from the coach of OKC Energy, Lee Fiedman. Watts trying to get the cross away. First touch there from Lancaster, trying the volley. I did take a deflection on the way through. It's come out for a corner to Louisville City.
It's a great step up into the midfield by Sunday because Lancaster has calibrated this to the upper corner. It's a beautiful first touch by Cameron Lancaster that allows him to get off the volley. A little bit of indecision just moments prior by Oscar Jimenez, who felt like maybe overlapping run should have been there by Akil Watts, but good little pull-up. Allowed themselves to get a second bite at the apple.
In towards the near post. Dealt with there by Kurimoto, away for another corner. Brought to you by Little Caesars. And again, whipped in towards the near post, and again, Kurimoto, who stood there, easily heading away. Cross sailed over everyone, and out of play for a goal kick. Batista just letting it run, and Wynn has to backtrack. And it will be a throw-in. Hear the urgency from Lee Wiedman, the OKC Energy manager, continues to shout. Watts. Gonzalez making the run in behind. Can get the cross in ahead of the byline. Did he? He just about did, but Kurimoto cut it out. Just gets rid Stevenson to try and win the header. Sunday was trying to win that second ball. Comes here for Bijev, who was fouled off it. The judgment of the referee. Gibson, or rather Del Piccolo, frustrated there with the decision. Louisville captain with the infraction.
He's had his fair share of those here in the second half since coming on. Not exactly seeing eye to eye with the head referee. Got to persevere through. Oh, and Radisov, maybe the thorn, but you can still clip that bush, find the rose, and get out of here with at least 1 point.
Now an opportunity here for Stevenson. Adekoya trying to take the touch around one defender, but ran into trouble. Now Batista, nice header for himself there. Calm under some pressure. Kurimoto. And Suahi just marshalling Stevenson and poking it out for the throw. In the final minute of stoppage time, down the line again, Suahi conceding a throw. Is there still a late twist in the tail? Bijev fouled off it. It's going to be a free kick here in a decent area for OKC Energy. Bijev is over it. Chance to put Louisville under pressure, whips it in, the header coming in, falls for Adekoya, who caught that volley well. It was a bit of a wild effort. It's gone skying over the bar. And what is perhaps the last chance of this one? It is indeed the last chance of this one. As OKC Energy and Louisville both unable to find the breakthrough. Adekoya with his best effort in the dying moments. But it's finished at Taft Stadium. OKC Energy 0, Louisville City 0.
And good news for Louisville City, you can breathe a sigh of relief. The Demons don't resurface as Adekoya has a great opportunity to put this one on frame. Didn't have a single shot in the second half. Wondered if he could hit the target at the end of it. Does not. This deserved. It's a point well earned by Energy FC defensively. Got better as the match went on. And of course, that man right there, your mid-first bank man of the match, CJ Cochran, now gets his 6th shutout of the season. More importantly, they'd gone 4 games without one. That moves them to a tie for 3rd in the entire USL Championship. For a team that only had 1 in the previous 7, their manager will be happy that they kept a clean sheet at the back.
And we're able to limit the damage from a Louisville City team that, certainly with Cameron Lancaster and a bevy of other goal scorers, can put you under pressure. Not even that many chances conceded by OKC Energy this evening, who will be pleased with the point, send themselves a little bit further up the Central Division in the USL Championship. It's finished at full-time, OKC Energy 0, Louisville City 0. When we come back, we'll have full-time reactions, including your full match highlights. That's on the other side. As it's finished, OKC Energy 0, Louisville City 0.
Goals are something we outline for ourselves, and oftentimes they can be pretty lofty. When things begin to line up the way we think they should, we appreciate those who helped us along the way, like the help you get with commercial banking from FFB. Our experts are ready to partner with you to help you manage cash flow, oversee accounts through online banking, and help you secure a business line of credit. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
Real commitment doesn't stumble. It doesn't hesitate. It's ready at a moment's notice, on the sidelines and in the stands. It leans in and gets loud. We're ready for you, for our club, for our city, for whatever comes next. We're SSM Health St. Anthony, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partners of the OKC Energy FC.
Welcome to Loves. Here, technology drives us. That's why we research technology advancements in our own labs. It's why we're constantly developing new tools to improve the ways you move. ways that lead to safer, more efficient travel. Here at Love's, we believe that technology drives us all forward. Love's, working to bring innovation to the highway.
At full time, brought to you by Brahms. It is OKC Energy 0, Louisville City 0. Chris Whittingham, Devin Kerr wrapping this thing up. Unfortunately, it remains deadlocked. It's a 0-0 at the Taft Stadium. OKC Energy, they'll be happy with the point and their defensive performance. And get into our full-time highlights. Actually, first, our save of the game presented by SSM Health St. Anthony's. And it's CJ Cochran there just smuggling that one after McLaughlin tried to turn it on the back post.
Little help by Mitch Osmond as well. No goalkeeper's going to turn away that kind of assistance on the back post where he felt like McLaughlin could have easily stuck it into the back of the net. Not the case whatsoever as CJ Cochran secures his 6th shutout of the season. Let's fast forward all the way to the 62nd minute. That's your center back coming off the back line. Not the best of touches. Lays it off for Del Piccolo. But much like we saw from almost every strike that tried to beat the goalkeepers tonight, not enough pace on it. Decent amount of precision, but not enough to the bottom corner to beat CJ Cochran. Turn up the heat. Del Piccolo at it once again from distance. Same story. 3 minutes later, pulls the trigger, and that hop, skip, and a jump doesn't help him at all. Let's go to added extra time. 95th minute, ball to the back post. Adekoya sits up nicely. The taming of the shrew doesn't happen. Up over the top. Way into upper deck.
Shea Adekoya unable to keep that one down, as those are your Panera Bread full-time highlights into our first Fidelity Bank full-time stats. Possession favoring Louisville, both teams with 2 shots on target. If this were on boxing scorecards, who would you have shaded this one to?
Louisville. You have to shift to the right a little bit here. You have to go right of center because of the fact that they just provided themselves more opportunities. Better possession, better movement going forward. That doesn't mean they were great, but when you look at the shots specifically, for instance, both hit 2 on target. Energy FC, both of them were in the first half. They only had 1 shot to show for themselves. It was in the 95th minute. Good start to the game, but not balanced, couldn't complete it up. Don't want to say that they were lucky, though, because Louisville City wasn't exactly overly threatening. Their best chances in the first half as well.
And that'll just about do it for us here on the broadcast. I want to thank our tremendous production crew, my broadcast partner, Devin Kerr. My name is Chris Whittingham, signing off as OKC Energy unable to get all 3 points. They do get the 1 at home from the team top of the Central Division. Next time out for OKC Energy, they'll be at home to Rio Grande Valley here at the Taft Stadium. But for tonight, it's finished OKC Energy 0, Louisville City 0. Have a good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.